Εξομολογήστε το Κύριο ότι αγαθός, αλληλούια.
Ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
So for those of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we are coming to you live and direct from Speaker's Corner. And today what we are going to be doing is showing you in a few moments
Very religious God believing by faith in nothing.
So I've just moved the camera around. So what we're going to be doing in a few moments is showing you two videos from last week showing the aftermath of the attack on two victims. Just to let you know, some very serious allegations against the victim has been made. We are not repeating those allegations for legal reasons, but also there is no sound on the video. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to play you a video from last week. And what I will do, whilst playing the video, I will narrate exactly what is happening. So if you give me a few moments, I will play the video. Big up. So we are coming to you live and direct. Thank you to Tommy Robinson. So we are coming to you live and direct from Speaker's Corner. Thank you to Tommy Robinson. So I'm just checking. So what is now going to happen is that the video of the attack, horrific attack, the video is 6 minutes and 16 seconds, and I will tell you exactly what is happening. So this is the aftermath of what happened on Sunday. So this is the aftermath. This is the person identified as the attacker. The person on the floor, please watch, his name is Tim. Please note he is wearing a t-shirt and a hat. T-shirt and a hat, and he's surrounded by a number of people. So what then happens is that we now see Fred, and Fred was filming Tim. So Fred is walking behind the attacker. The attacker then turns to Fred, says to Fred, "Stop following me," and then he attacks Fred. Bang! So that's Fred being attacked. Fred then falls to the floor. We then see the police arrive to deal with Fred. The police were there quite quickly. That's because the police were already on site dealing with another incident. So the police got involved quickly because they were already on site dealing with something else. This is the attacker. The attacker was apprehended by the police at the front of Speaker's Corner. After being apprehended, the attacker made a number of very serious allegations to the police. I am not going to repeat those allegations, but the allegations were serious. What has later transpired is that the attacker and the victim used to go out with the same girl. So the attacker and one of the victims, not Fred, the initial victim, Tim, the common denominator is a girl who were the attacker and the victim, Tim, former girlfriend. So we are not repeating the allegations being made to the police by the attacker. The attacker is then taken away by the police. He is compliant. He is not resisting arrest in any form. In my opinion, the police took him away so that they could interview him in privacy, because they're conducting an investigation. So the police took him away. So we're now back with Tim on the floor. But please look, Tim's on the floor. You will remember earlier on that Tim was wearing a hat. He also had on a t-shirt. I'm now going to show you the evidence on the video. Watch this. So that's the evidence. When the attack occurred, the victim, Tim, was wearing a t-shirt and it's covered in blood. Now, Tim is not wearing a t-shirt and we can see silver foil being unwrapped and placed around Tim. Tim is not wearing a shirt, and at this time an eyewitness has told me that the police were checking his body to see if there was any stab wounds or any serious injuries. We believe that potentially that is a policy decision where the police have learned from what happened from Henry Novak. The end of the video is telling you the injuries received by Fred, as you can see. We also see that Timothy believes that this attack was motivated by jealousy. He's not denying something, and this video is already out there. They're also calling. So this video is from Revelation's own video. If you want to find out more, go to Revelation's own video and you will find more information. We are not playing the whole video or any sound. We also want you, if you have any relevant information, to contact the police with evidence. So I'm now going to go and stand in front of my camera. So what we at Urban Scoop have decided to do, we have acted responsibly we have also applied journalistic and reporting standards to what we are doing today. The evidence suggests that what happened last Sunday, it was nothing to do with person A attacking person B because person A didn't like what person B was saying about religion. There were allegations that the person who was attacked, the allegation was it was a Muslim who attacked Tim. That is false. There was also other allegations about stabbings. They were false. A number of false allegations were made. And what is important is that in a few moments I'm going to get a few eyewitnesses to come and tell you what they saw, what they heard. But I've asked them, do not be repeating the serious allegation that has been made. But what does concern me is that what I saw on the video was live streamers being too interested in clicks. I'm just making a couple of changes on my... Yeah, so what I observed was that live streamers were way too interested in getting clicks for their channel instead of getting evidence and reporting factually in regards to what actually occurred here last Sunday. And Speaker's Corner is an amazing location. It has been in existence since 1872. So I'm now gonna... Yeah, Speaker's Corner has been in existence since 1872. 154 years this great place has been here. Some amazing people like Karl Marx, Lenin, and others were here 154 years ago. And what is now beginning to happen at Speaker's Corner is that, sir, excuse me, sir, did I not see you on a video last week?
You did.
Can I ask you, I'm currently live.
You can, that's fine, thank you very much.
Thank you. If you come forward,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Street Mike.
Yeah. I know normally we don't engage but today it's important. Can you tell me what you saw? I'm not interested in an allegation. A very serious allegation has been made.
Yes.
We are being responsible. We're not repeating it.
Yes.
But what did you see? Because I saw you on the floor offering assistance to Tim.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say I have great respect for you and your work.
Thank you.
Secondly, I think people need to understand if they see me on YouTube that I'm a very experienced trauma doctor. So that's why I was there. Normally I'm here to preach the gospel, but I had to change hats. Okay, leaving me aside, two people who would identify as Christian, irrespective of differences between people in this camp, two people who identify very strongly as Christian were both seriously assaulted. I didn't see the assault, but I saw the aftermath.
The aftermath, yes.
And these were significant injuries. There was significant intent of harm involved. And for a few moments there was absolute chaos.
And during those few moments, we saw a crime scene in which tape was placed around to prevent people from entering into the area where Tim was on the floor.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you went to help Tim, did you notice he was wearing his shirt?
He was wearing his shirt, yes.
Did you notice later on his shirt had been removed?
Yes, I did. When I saw the videos afterwards, he was on a trolley with his shirt removed.
Yeah. And you was there when the silver foil was placed around Tim.
That's right. I was there, yes. Yes.
So I've watched it. I've just played the video.
Yes.
What was happening, in your opinion, at that time?
It's not my opinion. It's my professional responsibility. The fact that Timothy had his shirt removed, the fact that there was foil around him, was absolutely essential for managing the situation. What can happen is, we knew he'd been punched and he had a jaw injury, but what can happen is somebody can be stabbed, and if you don't check for a stab wound, then you might miss it, and if you miss it, the person can die. So he was being checked for stab wounds. It was absolutely essential. Thankfully, he had no stab wounds, but if he had, that would have saved his life. The police were actually maintaining his dignity by doing that.
As well.
And it was the paramedics who removed his shirt, and they were absolutely going by the book on that.
But the question that has arisen directly after Henry Novak, and I've already told people, I've watched the video, I wasn't here, and I've told people that is the first time we have seen in the public arena the police doing that, and it comes immediately after Henry Novak.
Yes, it does. All I can say is I'm not going to be critical about the police on that. What concerns me, Mike, and I think this concerns you, is that they didn't handcuff the suspect. They just cheerfully marched him to the police car as if he was their best buddy, and off he went. And that, I'm not talking about as a doctor now, I'm just talking about as a member of the general public saying, that's crazy.
Can I concur with you, but being objective, in my opinion, he made a very serious allegation towards the police. When he was being spoken to just down there, in my opinion, the police took him away to speak in private, because so many people were around him with cameras, because we don't know if he was subsequently arrested or what.
Well, Mike, you and I have both seen quite a few people arrested at this place. The first thing the police do is handcuff them. The second thing they do is search them. The third thing they do is shove them in a van. And the fourth thing they do is question them. Here, this guy was just allowed to walk to the car by himself, even though Fred, the cameraman, was sitting on the ground, bleeding right in front of them. Horrible attack on Fred. And he could have run off at any moment. No attempt to restrain him. He even had a bag on him, and they didn't search that. Now, a man who's just committed two very violent acts, would they not search him for a knife?
But no, I note the point logically you're making. Yeah, and I'm being devil's advocate here. Because let's agree, the perception is that the police turned up here quickly. But they had been called due to an incident which happened earlier.
I saw that incident, yes. So they had been called, so they showed up for a different incident, and they were just on site
when it happened.
When it happened,
That's good. So is it possible that when the police arrived, all they saw, let's agree there were numerous police, the police with the attacker, all they knew was what he was saying?
Well, that's absolutely fine, except for one thing. There was Fred sitting on the ground next to his camera with blood pouring out of his head, looking really injured, and there was people standing around saying he needs arresting. The police at least should have handcuffed him and searched him for their own safety. It still doesn't hold water to me. I can't figure it out.
No, I can't figure it out. I agree with you, but I'm just trying to give you an alternative point of view. He made a serious allegation, so they took him away because people were filming him, and he couldn't talk and tell them what was going on. And also he was compliant at all stages. He wasn't resisting arrest. So if he was being violent, I can understand. But he was saying to the police, this is what has happened, this is why I've done what I've done.
Okay, well, as I say, I get your point, but I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that. I think there's something very fishy.
No, it is good that is your perception.
Yes, yes.
It is many people's perception.
Yeah.
I wanted to know why they didn't arrest him, and that is a question that must be put to the police. But also I want to know, was he arrested? Because we don't know.
Okay, well, I've only seen the videos that you've seen, but I didn't hear them reading his rights to him.
No.
If he was arrested, they would have handcuffed him, and they had to search him. I think, again, this is why somebody put out a video on YouTube saying he got an Uber ride home. They put him in the police car, got him by himself, and then he was driven off at speed.
No, but
yeah.
I'm dealing with facts.
Okay.
I'm not dealing with supposition or unintelligent people on YouTube or social media.
Yes.
Yeah, let's report what's actually happened. But what you're saying is valid.
Yes.
And I thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much indeed.
And have I been fair in what I've put to you?
You've been extremely fair. I just hope we get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, let's hope so as well.
Thank you.
What channel is this? What channel is this?
It's Tommy's.
Is it live now?
What I'm doing now, I'm calling. I'm calling over.
Are you live right now?
Yeah. If I'm here, I'm live. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm now going to be calling over another eyewitness who was here, and I hope you can. Oh, JC, just quick. So JC, the gentleman I've just seen, it was his video. He's one of the eyewitnesses, and I've just played his video. His name is JC from Soca Films, and I don't think he's going to be one of coming online, because I'm arguing that the videos that they've put out, they were more interested in clicks rather than establishing the truth and the facts. And he is aware I want to talk to him. So, good afternoon to all of you watching. My name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we are coming to you live and direct from Speaker's Corner for the regular Sunday Mayhem. And last week, Sunday the 21st of June, I beg your pardon, unfortunately I could not be here because I was covering a private event elsewhere. But I saw what happened. I was sent evidence, and when I saw it, I could not believe what was unfolding in front of my eyes. And like I've said, I believe that what occurred was nothing to do with Speaker's Corner. And so, sir, if you come in front, so if you come round.
Yep.
Come round a bit, come round, that's it. What's your name?
Trevor.
So, Trevor, were you at Speaker's Corner last Sunday?
Yes.
Can you tell the viewers what you witnessed? And I'll declare, I do not want you to be reporting an allegation.
Okay.
Just what you saw.
So, about maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, possibly 2:30, I was standing over there, and then I just saw a scuffle break out, and there was this guy punching people. And then he ran up that way, and I went up there, and the police arrested him. And then I came back and found a guy knocked out on the ground there with blood on the ground and blood in his teeth as well. And then the police came, and they built a
crime scene.
Yeah, crime scene, and they told everyone to move back and get behind get in front of the tape thing. And yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
So when you saw the victim, who has been identified as Timothy, when you saw him on the floor, what was your initial reaction?
Well, I was just in shock. I was just thinking, what's going on? I don't know what was happening. Yeah, I'm just in shock, yeah.
But what you said was that about 2:30, but it happened roughly about 4 p.m.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You said the victim ran off. The evidence.
No, not the victim, the perpetrator.
Sorry. I'll rephrase
Was
that.
it 4 o'clock you said?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'll rephrase that. My error. Yeah. The perpetrator or the attacker ran off.
Yeah.
But the evidence shows he walked off. Yeah, I've got the evidence on video.
Okay.
Yeah, but regardless, he went down there.
Yeah.
And then eventually he punched.
Some other man was
Fred. Fred.
And he
Fred.
Yeah.
He punched Fred because he asked Fred to stop filming him.
I think so.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. Yeah. And then the police
Put him in the car and drove off with him.
Yeah. When you saw the police put him in a car and drive off, what was your initial reaction, perception?
Well, I thought that's their job, so good.
But what you saw on Sunday, does that reflect what normally... Because was the incident anything to do with Speaker's Corner? Or was it...
No, I think it was a personal matter, like a personal beef between the two men.
Yeah. Thank you very much, yeah.
Yeah. What channel is this? Can you just...
Tommy Robinson's Twitter.
Can you put it on, please? It's on YouTube.
No, Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Oh, right.
Yeah. So what I'm now going to do is to introduce you guys to an eyewitness. And his name is Steve. And Steve has been kind enough to give me information during the week. And he's the only person who has spotted it. But one thing we're not doing today, Steve, is repeating the allegation, the serious allegation. Okay. We can chat about everything else. So, so from your point of view, what did you see unfold?
So I didn't see the actual punch or either of the two punches on either of the two individuals, but I did see the immediate aftermath of the first punch. So, as I said to you during the week, I think the police were or some police were already here due to another event, or someone had called them about another event. And when Timothy, that's his name, isn't it, was on the floor and the police were tending to him.
You want your bag because somebody...
Yeah, please, yeah.
And the police were tending to him and they were putting tape up to keep the crowd away. They surrounded him with silver sheets to protect his privacy. And the specific thing I noticed was they were checking his whole body. They pulled his trousers down and was checking his legs and checking his torso. And I thought, well, that's a bit odd, considering I think it was clear that he was struck on his head, on his face. Why would be checking the rest of the body? And I have to say, the immediate thought that came to my mind was that a post-Henry Novak action.
And just to clarify, you are the first person in this country... No, listen, let's put credit when credit is due, to actually identify that. I put it down to you, I've put it out, but also I've just interviewed a gentleman who claims he was a doctor, who was here, he's a regular preacher, and he has also confirmed what you said.
Oh, really? That they were checking his body? Yeah. No, they were absolutely doing it. I saw it with my own eyes, only a few feet away from me. And as I said, the strike was to his head. Why would be the checking the rest of his body? So I have to say, that's a good thing, frankly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously a shame the police in Southampton didn't do that for Henry Novak, but, you know, can we assume this is now an instruction that's gone out to police forces across the country when people are attacked, check their whole body to make sure whether they've been stabbed or not?
But when I say we at Urban Scoop believes that could be now a policy instruction, and, you know, we're putting it out there. We want the police to confirm.
Well, actually, yes, because I've been looking and I've not seen any statements or any information from the police whatsoever since that event last Sunday. And as you know, has been frequently said, it's this void of information that leads to.
But what I'm going to do now, Steve, hold that.
Hold it.
As I talk to you, the video is going to be playing. No, we've got technology. Stay there.
Have the technology.
Stay there. So what I'm now doing, Steve, a 6-minute video is playing. It starts, but there's no sound. I've turned the sound off.
Okay.
So when the incident happened, when Tim went down, everything, even the allegation by the attacker to the police, that's all on it, but we've turned the volume off.
Yeah.
So after you saw Tim on the floor, after you saw the police checking Tim, what happened after that?
Well, he remained on the floor for a long time. I'd say at least half an hour. An awful long time. And that wasn't because the ambulance was not present. There were ambulance and paramedics there with him. So he was there for a very, very long time. And I know eventually they put him on a stretcher and took him off to the ambulance. So I can only assume from that they were seriously worried about his condition at that time, not to sort of whisk him off to the ambulance fairly swiftly. And I guess, the force of the strike. I mean, a direct witness of that I spoke to said, it was an almighty crunch as he was punched in the face. And then I think he obviously fell to the ground. I did hear someone say he then got a second punch, but I'm not sure. I suspect.
So you can only go by what you saw. But what I'm not trying to do is to put out hearsay, what someone else says. So, but on Urban Scoop, we're reporting and we're trying to report factually, because one concern I have, but we can go into that in a moment, is that a lot of speculation has gone out because people are only interested in clicks, and they've been circulating clicks. But also, Fred was assaulted. Did you see anything now?
Again, only the aftermath. When he was still on the floor, he had blood. He'd been given tissues that he was mopping his nose with, and clearly he was in a state of shock.
So you saw that, but when that was happening, the attacker was being interviewed by the police. But one thing we've all observed, and you've mentioned it to me, the attacker was being very compliant.
Absolutely compliant. Because I know even at the time and subsequently online, people have been ranting about, why wasn't he handcuffed? Why wasn't he handcuffed? People were screaming, don't let him go, don't let him go. Police only have to use handcuffs if they think there's a reason to. And one of those main reasons being that either the attacker is going to run, or the alleged criminal is going to run away and escape, or that the attacker is being violent and potentially violent to the police. It was very, very evident that there was no risk to the police or anyone else at that time. So frankly, there would have been no reason to handcuff him. But it almost seems that people now think handcuffing should be part of the deal, and that's like part of the punishment that's immediately dished out to police. No, it's not. You can be fully arrested for a serious crime without being handcuffed. I mean, I know, going back to the Henry Novak case, I know there's a lot of complaints about his attacker was not handcuffed. Well, as awful as what happened there, and as awful as what the police did or did not do, the fact that Henry Novak's attacker was handcuffed or not, I don't see as particularly relevant, but it's just the crowd, the masses seem to have an expectation that you've got to be handcuffed, and if you're not, you're being let off lightly. I completely disagree.
Are you of the same opinion as myself in regards to the officers who were here? People who know me, you know me, Steve. If the police have fucked up, I'm going to cuss their backside. True or not? On this occasion, I think, based on the evidence before me, the police behaved reasonably in regards to how they dealt with the gentleman, how they dealt with Tim, and when they took the attacker away to the police car, I'm of the opinion that they did that so they can continue talking privately.
Yes, because as you know, as I know, when anything happens in Speaker's Corner, you invariably get a rush of cameras and YouTubers. Some of them are live streaming, some of it are recording. That's not the scenario to be having a conversation between an individual and the police.
So we saw all of that. So based upon what you have seen happen here at Speaker's Corner, do you believe that it was anything to do with Speaker's Corner, or was it And from what you are seeing and hearing with the evidence, it was something between two people who was personal, because the common denominator is a woman.
Yes, in terms of the actual evidence we have, yes, there is currently nothing to suggest it's directly Speaker's Corner related, or religion related, or the fact that the two victims were Christians. I don't think that has, from what we know so far, any relevance at all.
But Steve, this place is world renowned. It has, see, I've done my research, man. It has been here since 1872. 154 years it's been here. We've had Karl Marx, Lenin, and other great speakers like yourself standing on your soapbox chatting. That is a clear indication that freedom of speech, the bastion in this country, is so important. It could get destroyed because of the violence which we see, but we've made it clear what happened last week was nothing to do with Speaker's Corner, but we have had violence here, Hatun Tash and others. Yeah. What's happening?
Well, it's I don't know what is happening. I mean, it's wrong to say there's never been violence at Speaker's Corner throughout its history. There has always been occasions and moments of violence, and when, you know, opposing factions on whatever subject have come to blows here. But I do agree with you. There does seem to be a slight, in recent years, a slight increase in the amount of violence that we have here, and obviously, the greatest concern would be could that endanger the ongoing existence of Speaker's Corner, and
carry on.
And the ongoing ability for people to feel able to come here and speak freely and say whatever they want, without thugs intimidating them, being highly aggressive, and on occasions actually thumping them.
But why, oh why, does it continue to happen? Is it because, and I'm going to give a theory, is it because people here are so passionate about whatever that's being debated? But also, I would argue a lot of things that happen here are created for clicks so that people can promote their channels. True or not?
I don't think it's because of passion. You know, you can be passionate about whatever your subject is, religious-wise, politically-wise, or whatever-wise. It's not about passion, but I agree with your second point, that it is the increase in the presence of cameras and filming and live streaming and YouTube videos, often edited YouTube videos, often YouTube videos with highly sensational clickbait titles that encourage this low-life circus of utter nonsense, and you know that has been the case for quite a few years now. But no, I agree. In fact, you know, I even suspect sometimes that it is explicitly whipped up for the cameras, nothing more, nothing less.
See, one thing I haven't done, about 100 yards to our left, a man has been arrested. I've been watching it for a long time. Right. See?
Is it Kelly J. Keane related?
No. Kelly J. Keane, I've already interviewed her, you get what I'm saying? But I'm not interested in that, because most people are only interested in clicks. An arrest is going to get us views. That's bullshit. But Steve, all I can say, sir, but I've got a couple of other questions, is thank you very much for engaging with me. The information you gave me was very useful, and it's shed a different light on potentially why Tim was shielded. Yeah. You saw with your own eyes body being checked. Yeah. But one question I will ask. Two videos have been put out. I've got them on my system that's been playing. I've removed certain parts of the video, like a thumbnail, which mentions someone's name, or at the ends where it mentions certain allegations and a girl's name. I've taken all them out because that's been it.
The girl's name has been mentioned.
A girl's name's been mentioned. That's irresponsible. Yeah. So what do you think of the fact that something as serious as what happened has happened, and suddenly people have been named and their names been put on YouTube.
I think at least it's probably unhelpful. I'm sure the police would confirm it is unhelpful, and at worst it could jeopardise court cases and innocence. You know, we know how quick people in the community are to pile in on people, again, sometimes physically, based on nothing more than hearsay. You know, they may or may not be the correct names. If they're not the right names, you know, absolutely innocent people are going to be caught up in all of this. So, yeah, I don't think it's very sensible.
Yeah. But what I will say is that I am grateful that Tim, the victim, sent me voicemails explaining what happened. Yeah. So from a reporting point of view, I can only report facts based upon what people have, an eyewitness or what I've been told. But we do want, if anyone watching this has evidence or information that can assist the police, please give the police. I've been, you know, when Sasser Johnson got shot in the head, I went to Peckham, made a video asking people to come forward with evidence. That's being responsible. Yeah, and yet again here I'm being responsible. If you do have evidence, come forward, give it to the police, but also we want the police to make a statement.
Yeah, so I was going to coming back to the police, I was going to say, I honestly think there's nothing to fault them on for last Sunday. Yes.
Unusually.
Yes, it would be good to have a statement, but again, you know, there could be untold reasons that they're unable to yet. But I would say, yeah, they did very well. There's nothing to criticise them on, but it was, I think, pure fluke, pure luck that they happened to be here when it happened. And if they hadn't happened to have been here for another reason, as you and I know, the Royal Parks Police was disbanded, was it at the end of last year?
Due to cuts.
Due to cuts by Sadiq Khan. Due to severe cuts that Sadiq Khan is making to the Metropolitan Police Force, and disbanding the Royal Parks Police is just one aspect of that. But that has resulted in less police presence every week at Speaker's Court.
But Steve, let's think of the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. This place, Speaker's Corner, is renowned throughout the world for being a bastion of freedom of speech. Why should the police have to be here to oversee people having a debate?
Well, they shouldn't be needed, but the reality is they are. And referring back to what we were talking about 2 minutes ago, violence, unfortunately, is quite a frequent feature of Speaker's Corner, and therefore a continual police presence is, unfortunately, sadly, a reality of what is now needed.
Yeah. Well, stay there. What I'm now going to do is do this.
Figuring it out.
For a reason. Yeah. Because when there's purely to get more light. Yeah, but Steve, all I can say is thank you very much for the information you've provided. It has been useful. I only hope that we have been responsible in how we on Urban Scoop have reported this, and we want arrests to happen. We want justice for the victims in this case.
Yes, because I will say, without being careful not getting into too much detail, you and I know the allegations that were made by the attacker. Whether those allegations are 100% true or not, we do not live in a society where you take justice into your own hands and where you dish out punishments like that. So whether they were correct or not, what that guy did is thoroughly, thoroughly wrong. And you know, action needs to be taken against him for what he did last Sunday.
Yeah, fully agree. But we on Urban Scoop have not put his name in the public domain. We haven't put in the public domain what the allegations are, but on other channels they have. Yeah. Quite sad.
Not the most responsible of things, though.
No, just for clicks. But Steve, Thank you very much, sir. And Kelly J. Keane is here.
Is she still here or is she gone?
No, when she went live...
Oh, they're doing a picnic, I think.
Yeah,
over
when
there.
she went live... Well, I was just going live for the back. And she come... So I went live with Kelly J. Keane. Big up.
Great. All right,
Thanks a lot, man.
I know you mentioned said eat canned cuts,
Yeah.
but I think we should roll it to each of those on YouTube. They were massive, 20,000 police officers and more than 20,000 admin.
So for those of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel. And let me go round a bit. Wow, down here. It's a very busy day down here at the corner. Let me show you what's going on. In the background, there's a thing called BST. And later on today, I haven't checked, but there are literally thousands and thousands of people making their way into that location there, where there will be a concert. Let me ask a few. Excuse me, who's in there today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
18.
Go in the front.
What?
I'm currently live and direct. I've got about 6,000 people watching. Who's in there today?
80s. They are a K-pop group. They're amazing.
And are you going there yourself?
I am, yeah.
And what time does it start?
80s go on at 8:25 roughly, but you've got loads of other groups like Dear Alice, and you've got Taemin as well.
Excellent. I don't know what you're talking about, but I hear you.
They're amazing. If you can, come along.
Excellent stuff. Thanks a lot, yeah. Bye-bye. So that's what's going on down here at Speaker's Corner. So we've been able to give you some factual information about the assault. So what I'm now going to do is play you the incident once again of the horrific attack. Excuse me, guys.
What's the name of the book by Palestinian right now? Answer the question. We love you, but answer the question. It can be about geography or history or economics. What's the name of the Palestinian book? 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. Who's the writer? Who's the writer?
Are you okay? Yeah, no. Better. It's getting better. Yeah. Fantastic.
Stay there. No, hold on. I've got to switch over. Stay there. Don't move. So for those of you who are watching, the gentleman in front of the camera, his name is Fred, and stay there, Fred, and he is one of the persons who was attacked and seriously injured here at Speaker's Corner last week. So he was attacked and seriously injured last week, and it would be unwise for me to be interviewing him because he is central to an ongoing police investigation, so we cannot be interviewing him. And I'm not going to be irresponsible, but so if you leave your face there, Tim, leave your face, sorry, calling you Tim, let people, if you turn. So we're now showing you the injuries he has received. So this is a gentleman who was attacked and seriously injured on last Sunday, and we do thank God that he is okay. And all I will say, I'm not going to be interviewing him. Listen, bro,
you're going to try and
we are so glad that, let me move around a bit, that you are safe and you are well.
Thanks.
And if there is anything we can do to bring justice, we are there to help and assist.
Any eyewitnesses, just call the police.
Yeah, so like we've already repeated, if there are any eyewitnesses, if you do have any videos that will shed new light, please ring 101. We've already put that information up. Help the police to put a case together, because what we do not want to see happening is that anyone can come here to Speaker's Corner and assault an individual and get away with it. We want to see swift justice, but let's do it the proper way.
Yeah, right. Amen. Thanks.
Amen. Thanks a lot. But we're at Tommy's channel. We are here to help.
All right. Cheers. Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So that is Fred, one of the victims. So good afternoon to all of you watching. My name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to Urban Scoop, and we are coming to you live and direct, live and direct from Speaker's Corner. And many of you will be aware that last week an incident took place here at Speaker's Corner where two persons were seriously injured and they required hospital treatment. What I'm now going to do is to play you a 6-minute video showing you what happens, and as we go through that video, I'm going to narrate exactly what happens. So I'm now going to play you the video of a horrific attack. For legal reasons, what we have done here at Urban Scoop, we have turned the volume off. So this is the person who launched an attack on two persons. This is all the aftermath you do not see. So this is Tim, who was attacked. Someone by the name of Fred was also attacked. Please note, Tim is wearing a shirt in this video that will become relevant later. So what then happened is that the attacker walked off. So the person who was filming Tim, his name is Fred, and Fred continued to film the attacker. The attacker then turned on Fred, told him to stop filming, and then he punched Fred, and that the police turned up quite quickly, and the reason the police were there so quickly was because they were already on site dealing with a separate incident. So when Fred was attacked, the police were there in seconds. That's because they were already on site. We then see the police with the attacker. We have turned off the volume because the attacker has made very serious allegations against Tim. But if you observe the attacker, he is not running away from the police. He's not being violent. He is not being aggressive. He is explaining to the police, rightfully or wrongfully, why he attacked Tim. And what he has claimed, we will not be repeating, but other channels have repeated what the attacker said. What then happens is that the police took the attacker away, and in my opinion, they did so because they wanted to interview him about the attack, and they wanted to do it without cameras being present. I'm being devil's advocate. I've also received voicemails from Tim, and I've interviewed eyewitnesses. So the police now take the attacker away. He is not resisting, and I do not believe he was arrested at this stage. He then goes into the vehicle. We then go back to Tim on the floor. But on this occasion, you will notice something very important. When the incident occurred, Tim was wearing a shirt. In this, he is not. And then what happens is the police bring silver foil around him. So that's me taking the video back to show you the evidence that Tim is wearing a shirt with blood all over it. We can now see Tim on the floor without a shirt. The police has taken out silver foil. That foil is now being put around the scene, which is a crime scene if you look carefully. And in my opinion, and also that of eyewitnesses, plus a medical doctor who intervened, the reason why the police put the tape around was because they were checking Tim to see if he had been stabbed. So this is a post-Henry Novak event. On the end of the video, we've got information about Timothy's injuries. We've also got information from Tim. And it says, based on the evidence so far, Tim believes that this attack was motivated by jealousy and will share further details in due course. What do you mean it was motivated by jealousy? That is the question. And it appears as if the common denominator in this incident is a woman who was the former girlfriend of both Tim and the attacker. So the common denominator here is there is a woman involved, and she is the common denominator, and she is the former girlfriend of the attacker, as well as one of the victims, Tim. Today at Speaker's Corners, one of the other victims, Fred, is here at Speaker's Corner, and I have shown the injuries he has. He has very serious injuries. And what we do want you guys to do, or anyone, if you have any information that could help the police, please give that information to the police. But it was said that the attacker was a Muslim. That's not true. It was said there was a stabbing. That was not true. A lot of speculation swirled around social media. I will now put up the video again, but you will see Speaker's Corner, and I will continue to narrate. So the video's now starting again, but you're seeing Speaker's Corner as it is today on the left, and you will see the video on the right. That's the technology we now have at Urban Scoop. But this incident, don't forget that Speaker's Corner has been here since 1872. The corner has been here for 154 years. And during that time, we have had some wonderful, wonderful people standing on their soapbox. Karl Marx we've had, Lenin, we've even had me, Street Mike, big up. So this place is a bastion of freedom of speech. Many people come here every week. Millions around the world watch Speaker's Corner. But what we do not want is violence manifesting itself because one individual does not like what another is saying. That was what person's belief was last week. They felt it was a Muslim attacking a Christian, and that was untrue. This place, if you do not like what is being said, you should not come here. If you cannot stand up to criticism, if you cannot challenge a person intellectually by giving a contrary argument to theirs, just come and listen. Heckle if you need be, but you do not come here to be violent. This place is a beautiful, safe environment where people around the world come on a weekly basis. This place promotes freedom of speech where our governments are trying to take that away from us. We must not allow the criminals to come here to Speaker's Corner to attack persons. We've known previously that Hatun Tash, a regular speaker here, was attacked and someone come with a knife. We also know that a gentleman by the name of Edward Little was on his way to Speaker's Corner, and he was coming here to purchase a gun, and he was stopped by the police, and Edward Little is now spending years and years in prison for an attack he was planning on Hatun and her cameraman. Speaker's Corner is a bastion for freedom of speech. We need to promote it, but what we do need is the police, but I can understand why they have not, to put a statement out in regards to what happened here last week, because many people have engaged with foolishness on social media and they believe it, and they think this location is promoting violence. That is untrue. The police need to arrest quickly the perpetrator of the incident down here, which resulted in 2 persons being injured seriously, with jaws broken, cheekbones broken, and titanium being put into a jaw. That cannot be permitted to happen. Anyone involved with such criminality must be apprehended. But should we at Speaker's Corner be wanting the police to be here on a weekly basis? The answer to that question is no. Last time I looked, over 10,000 people were watching this live stream, and I can now tell that 12,000 people are watching. So what we at Urban Scoop are doing, we have not repeated the allegations that were made last week, nor have we published names of persons, because that is being irresponsible. But what I will argue is that those who were filming the incident last week, all they were interested in was clicks. We at Urban Scoop are reporting factually what has occurred. We have obtained evidence from eyewitnesses. We have also obtained voicemails from one of the victims, and today I have interviewed another victim by the name of Fred. He is actually here at Speaker's Corner. We haven't come up with conjecture, because too many people with cameras, they are being irresponsible and they're being dangerous. I cannot believe that a video has been put out that names the perpetrator of the incident. That is wrong. I cannot believe that that same video mentions the former girlfriend. There are very serious consequences and issues when an irresponsible person does that. We at Urban Scoop have not engaged with foolishness like that. We've turned the volume off the video so you cannot hear the allegations being made. But if you do want to hear, just go on Soca Films or the other channel, and you can see some of the information being put out by the other channel, which is Revelations. We are not putting it out, but you can go and find it if you are interested. But my name is Wendell Daniel from Urban Scoop, and we are coming to you live and direct from Speaker's Corner on this beautiful, amazing, sunny day. And you can hear in the background, because I've left the sound on, it is hotting up, it's heating up. People are out running. We started earlier on with Kelly J. King, because it's the last Sunday of the month. We started this live stream with her, and at 4 p.m. I will be ending. But in the background we've got BST, and there are many performers down here today. But all I can say is thank you very much for watching Urban Scoop on Tommy Robinson's Twitter page. We are due back next Sunday, 1 till 4 p.m. And we do hope that you are grateful of the fact that we are being responsible in how we are reporting what has occurred here at Speaker's Corner last week. It was a one-off isolated event, and it seems as if the common denominator is a woman who is known by the attacker and one of the victims. It appears as if the attacker and one of the victims, and it's to do with an ex-girlfriend. That's a fact, and it's been confirmed by the attacker and also victim number one, Tim. And I've got voicemails from Tim. Fred, the other victim, is here at Speaker's Corner. I'm trying to find him so that you can see the injury on his face before we close down. So if you give me a few moments, I will be back and I will close with Fred. So I'll be back in a few moments. So I'm now going to interview Steve, and Steve witnessed events, the aftermath of the event last week, and Steve was the person who realised the Henry Novak moment. So Steve, what I'm going to do to close, yet again I'm going to put the video up. No, but the people can see. So take us through the video from the time you witnessed the attack.
Yeah, so I kind of arrived on the immediate scene after the punch, and Tim was lying on the floor, and I think the first couple of police had arrived and were tending to him. More police arrived, paramedics arrived, they taped off quite a large area around. And then I think the most important, crucial point was I witnessed the police shield Tim with the sort of silver sheets that you see at the end of the marathon, and they were shielding him from the public because they were basically checking his body. So even though it was very clear he'd been punched to the head, to the side of his face, they were checking out his entire body to the extent of pulling down his trousers and checking his torso and checking his legs. And my immediate thought when I saw that was post Henry Novak action. Which obviously it's a different police force, a different area of the country, but I thought, why? You wouldn't normally expect them to do that, particularly, even though they were trying to shield him, but in such a public setting, middle of Speaker's Corner. But it was very, very evident they were checking his body, and what else would they have been checking for other than injuries to the rest of his body, for example, stab injuries. So I thought that was a real sort of significant key moment, and I've got to say it's a positive that if the police have now learned from the Henry Novak situation, that it's very, very important that when someone's on the ground having been seriously attacked, they check the extent of any injuries, including to the body. So it was a good thing to see. Obviously, huge shame they didn't think to do that down in Southampton when Henry was attacked. But we can surmise what was going through their head and the reasons they didn't do that for poor Henry. And ultimately, the most shocking thing, one of the many, many shocking things from the Henry Novak scenario was that the Hampshire and Isle of Wight police put out a statement afterwards saying, well, whatever we'd done, Henry probably would have died anyway.
I hear you, but let's concentrate in particular this event, and at the moment what's playing is the police apprehending or stopping the attacker. So you were quite clear in what you said to me. Stay there. Tim! Oh, carry on. I'm going to get Tim over here.
What, Tim?
No, Tim, no, sorry.
Not Tim. That's why I ignored you. No. Fred, yes. So afterwards, when I was witnessing the attacker be arrested, he was very, very compliant with the police. He wasn't fighting back. He wasn't trying to escape. Frankly, there was no reason for him to be handcuffed. A lot of people were saying at the time and subsequently, he wasn't handcuffed, this is appalling. You're only handcuffed for, one of two reasons. One, if the police believe you're trying to escape, or there is a risk that you're going to escape, or there is a risk of further violence to the police or towards anyone else. It was very clear that neither of those were a risk. So, being handcuffed is not part of the punishment. It's done for a practical reason.
Steve, don't ask Fred any questions. No, I'm being serious. All I want to do is let the people... If you get closer, Fred...
Oh, okay.
No. Because there's an ongoing investigation.
Okay.
So, Fred, if you turn your face so we can see. That's it. Stay there. So, Steve, can you describe what you're seeing with Fred?
I can see bruising. I can see blood bruising under his eye and the side of his nose.
3 fractures.
And 3 fractures, I'm told.
Yeah. So, Fred, thank you. And if you stay there, so what we at Urban Scoop, and also on Fred's own channel, what we are doing is calling for any witnesses to make sure you come forward. If you have any evidence from Sunday, please contact 101, send that information to 101, because we want to make sure that the perpetrators of this heinous event is apprehended and prosecuted. And we want to see we want to see justice for Tim, and we want to see justice for Fred.
And when you're reporting it to 101, make it clear it was the event or the offence on the Sunday, the 21st of June. The summer solstice, 21st of June. Remember that day.
And it is so great to see that Fred has come out today. He's a soldier, he's a warrior, and he's back. And I'm so happy to see you, Fred. And like I said, we're Urban Scoop. If you need any help and assistance, it's there. You know that, yeah?
Cheers, thanks.
Yeah. So this is Fred, the second person who was assaulted. And we showed you the film that he was actually... So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull up the video of the assault. So I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to show you Fred. So there's Fred there. He's on the floor. That's Fred. So and that's what's happened. So Fred, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, yeah? Thank you. So Steve, so if you carry on in regards to, so the gentleman was apprehended.
I was just saying whilst you were away about the police apprehended the attacker and they didn't handcuff him, and I said because there was clearly no risk of him either escaping or being furtherly violent. He was completely compliant with the police. There was no risk.
And a lot of people were saying arrest him, put him in handcuffs, but you can understand, I can understand why the police did not.
Absolutely. Well, I said while you're away, there are only two reasons, as far as I'm aware, that anyone is ever handcuffed. That's one, because there's a risk of them getting away, to prevent them getting away, and the second, that there's any risk of violence towards the police or anyone else. If neither of those two risks, there are no reason for it. Being handcuffed is not part of the punishment. You're not handcuffed in order to punish you. And often, whether it's here or elsewhere, people rant and rave whether someone has handcuffed or not. It's not relevant. It's really not.
Yeah. So let's go back now to Tim being on the floor here.
Yeah.
The police putting the silver foil around him, and you've said it was a Henry Novak moment, but then he was taken away. But before that, a crime scene was set up.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything like that at Speaker's Corner?
No, I don't think I have. I was thinking about this, and I cannot recollect that. And it was a big area, and it was for a very long time. Well, Tim was there for a long time before they took him away on a stretcher.
How long? Because from your recollection, your records, it happened around 4 p.m.
Yeah, it did. And I know that because I've checked the timestamp on the video that I took.
So it happened around 4 p.m. The police were here quickly because they were dealing with something else.
Yeah.
They then took Tim away.
Yeah.
After it all happened.
Yeah.
I was messaging you that night, like, Steve, you know what's happening, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
When you realised, what went through your mind? An allegation was made. We're not repeating that allegation, but...
Well... Two things. The length of time that Tim was there, being treated by paramedics and the police were there. He was. They left him there for a very, very long time, even though an ambulance was parked outside the gate. So they could have taken him away earlier. So that told me the seriousness of the injuries to him, that I assume they didn't, because normally, someone is taken away quite rapidly in an ambulance. So I assumed that,
Were they being cautious?
They were being cautious, absolutely very, very cautious. And then the other point is, after he had been... and he was there for, I don't know the precise timing, but I would say he was there for at least half an hour on the ground before he was taken away. And then the second point is, the police kept the cordon for the rest of the day of Speaker's Corner.
Because potentially if something had happened, it's a crime scene.
Exactly, so it was a serious crime scene, and... I don't know whether this is being over-dramatic. I don't know whether there was a risk that they thought that Tim could die. And then obviously when a death is involved, the crime scene, becomes an order more serious and more important. And I certainly never seen that before, when a whole area of Speaker's Corner is cordoned off for the entirety of the rest of the day. And there were obviously, police officers who remained there for the rest of the day.
But after you left, and then you saw what was being said on social media.
Yeah.
Were you surprised? Were you shocked that so many unintelligent fools who are only interested in their own opinions and generating clicks for their channels or X accounts, some of the things they were saying about stabbings, it was a Muslim, and worse.
Well, even on the day here, people were saying, has he been stabbed? Someone's been stabbed. Now, maybe sometimes that's a natural reaction when someone's bloodied. But yeah, the fact that people were repeating it online, saying it was a Muslim that had done it, people are very quick to jump to conclusions, whether it's for clicks and views or whether it's just performative to comply with the narrative that they want to apply.
But why do you think they're quick? We at Urban Scoop, look at the evidence, We've got eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
We've got voicemails from one of the victims.
Yeah.
We've spoken to the second victim. We haven't rushed to put nothing out.
No.
We wanted facts.
Well, exactly, because you know you have to wait before you step, because you may be basing your thoughts on complete incorrect facts.
And persons like us, when we make allegations, people take notice.
Yeah, well, of course. But I guess it probably does need to be said that as incorrect as it might have been, if people had jumped to a conclusion that this was a Muslim on Christian attack, that will be, without doubt, in part based on the history of what's happened there at Speaker's Corner. And we
know the history. Hattoon and many others have been attacked.
Yeah.
And quite...
Yeah, so therefore, yeah, the context is that we have had previously violent attacks from some of the extremist Muslim thugs that have come to Speaker's Corner, and on Christians a number of times as well.
But in closing, I am so happy to see Fred here today.
Yeah.
He's got his camera out. He's been seriously injured, as we know.
Yeah.
But he's here continuing.
Yeah.
What does that say
about
him as a Christian soldier?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a quiet, nice guy, isn't he? He's very, what's the word? Doesn't hurt a fly. And he's gone, and he was in shock. You know, and I think we all would be in shock if, through doing nothing other than filming someone in a public park, he got violently and viciously attacked. So yeah, no, I agree. It's good to see him back.
Excellent stuff. Steve, as normal, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And for all of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel from Urban Scoop, and we thank you for watching us. And what we have tried to do today is to be responsible in reporting exactly what has occurred. We've looked at the evidence, we've interviewed witnesses, we've spoken with one of the victims, we've got voicemails from the other victim, and we have done like a news type report, whilst others have just been chasing clicks. And all I can say is thank you very much for watching. We are now coming to an end of this live stream, and we will be back next week 1 till 4 p.m. So all I can say, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.